Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Abu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. And now the news in full. The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating Nigeria's Port Concession Agreement has issued a strong warning to government agencies accused of frustrating its probe. The committee says it may invoke constitutional powers to compel compliance from agencies that refuse to honor its invitation or submit required documents. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
Chairman of the committee, Kolawole Akinlayo, expressed displeasure during a news conference in Abuja, saying several ministries, departments, and agencies have either failed to appear before the panel or submitted incomplete documents critical to the investigation. The committee was constituted by the House of Representatives to investigate the performance and benefits accruing to the federal government from the concession of Nigeria's seaports, airports, and related terminals between 2006 and 2025.
Unfortunately, more than 1 month into this onerous assignment, we have been faced with the daunting challenges of compelling relevant ministry departments and agencies of federal government to appear and provide the necessary and required information to enable the committee complete its works within the stipulated time.
According to the chairman, the probe will review concession agreements, assess revenue remittances to government, and examine compliance with contractual, regulatory, and safety obligations by operators. The panel is also expected to evaluate infrastructure development, operational efficiency, service delivery, and labor issues within the concession framework, while identifying gaps and recommending reforms.
Henceforth, this committee will no longer tolerate contempt of the parliament, and we have resolved to invoke the statutory constitutional provisions to compel any hearing CEO head to appear before it.
However, the committee says more than a month into the assignment, several agencies have ignored invitations or failed to submit requested documents. Among those listed are the Nigerian Port Authority, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nigeria Customs Service, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited. The committee warned that persistent refusal to cooperate could attract sanctions under Section 89 and 129 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, including summons, fines, and possible arrest of erring officials. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma says youth-led initiative remain critical to national development and grassroots mobilization across the country. He made this known while receiving members of the City Boys movement led by Sheyi Tinubu during a courtesy visit to the government house in Owerri. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports.
The gathering brought together youth leaders, political stakeholders, and members of the movement led by its patron, Sheyi Tinubu, who paid a courtesy visit to the governor as part of their outreach activities in the state. Governor Hope Uzodinma described the visit as a homecoming, commending the group for its humanitarian interventions, including support for hospitals, blood donations, and empowerment programs across communities.
To thank the leadership of City Boy movement for the wonderful charity works you are doing in Imo State, for supporting our hospitals and the sick, the vulnerable, the poor, the challenged. For me, that is evident that what is happening in the city is coming now home to the rural area.
Governor urged members of the movement to remain united and take the message of national development to communities across the country, stressing that the future of Nigeria lies largely in the hands of its youthful population. He also commended the leadership of President Bola Tinubu for policies aimed at stabilizing the nation's economy and promoting inclusive governance.
Nigeria was almost at the decay level when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office in 2023. Despite the speculative tension in the Middle East, occasioned by the incident, the war now in Iran, the prices of oil has gone up, scarcity all over the world, but only in the whole African continent, Nigerian Naira remains at 1,247.
Speaking on behalf of the delegation, the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Oluwade, thanked the governor for supporting the initiative and encouraging greater youth participation in governance.
Thank you on behalf of the DG, the national, on behalf of the DG in Imo State, on behalf of the zonal coordinator for what you have been doing for City Boy Movement, putting us together as a young body and also renewing our hope.
The engagement ended with a renewed commitment by the City Boys movement to deepen youth participation in governance while supporting community-based initiatives across the country. From Government House, Owerri, I'm Marachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
1 million Muslim faithful in Kano State are benefiting from the government's Ramadan feeding program. The initiative, which covers the 8 metropolitan local government areas of the state, is being implemented by Mina Events and 2 other catering services. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibril, who went round part of the Kano metropolitan city, reports.
Inside the Mina Event and Catering Center, bags of rice and other assorted food ingredients are neatly arranged and ready for cooking and distribution to fasting Muslims across Kano. Unlike previous years when raw food items were distributed, the state government has this time engaged professional caterers to prepare cooked meals for distribution to Muslim faithfuls across the state.
We are really happy and really grateful, and we appreciate his concern for Kano people. Alhamdulillah, His Excellency, we, on behalf of all our staff and people of Kano, we really appreciate and thank you for this Ramadan feeding that you initiate for Kano people. Alhamdulillah. This is like amana. You know, we call it in Islam amana. So he gave us this already. That's what we are based on. So we are really doing it with love, care, and then really in a good hygienic environment.
From cooking to packaging and eventual distribution on the streets, hundreds of workers are actively involved in the process. The initiative is also creating temporary employment opportunities for many youth across the state.
Under the leadership of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf, we sincerely appreciate, and also people are truly grateful for this Ramadan feeding program. Every day we see appreciation, hear the prayers from the beneficiaries who are truly happy.
Back on the streets of Kano metropolis, trucks loaded with cooked meals arrive at various distribution points ahead of the evening iftar. Residents say the gesture by the Kano state government is helping thousands of people break their fast comfortably during the holy month of Ramadan.
Already we have the contact person given to us by the state government. So before we leave the center, before we leave our center to deliver to the various centers, we are already in contact with the person to collect. So once we go, he will receive the 1,000 for each center.
According to the caterers, between 90 and 100 bags of rice are cooked daily to provide meals for over 1 million residents observing the Ramadan fast.
We're cooking 96 bags of rice every day. We start very early in the morning because it's a huge load, as you can imagine, that we have to cook in our kitchen. And we have added for this project, we had to add a lot of staff. We have 300 staff regularly in Mina who are employed regularly. And we added about 250 to help us with the packaging because it has to all be done in a certain amount of time.
For many Kano residents, Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has demonstrated commitment to supporting fasting Muslims, particularly the less privileged during this sacred period in Islam. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, Global Television News.
For millions of people, the day now begins and often ends with a scroll on social media, while this platform keeps users connected and informed. Experts say the growing hours spent online may be quietly affecting productivity at work, in school, and even at home. Sadatu Garba takes a look at this trend and now reports.
Social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook have become powerful tools of communication and entertainment, drawing millions of users into hours of daily engagement. Recent studies show that the average user now spends several hours each day on social media. While the platforms offer opportunities for connection, information sharing, and learning, experts warn that excessive use can reduce daily productivity.
At times you will be engrossed to either WhatsApp or what's trending in the country. You find out that the active time you used to do other things will be distracted.
Frequent notifications and the temptation to constantly check updates interrupt concentration and make it difficult to stay focused on important tasks. Researchers say even brief distractions can break workflow, and it often takes several minutes to fully regain focus, reducing overall efficiency.
You open your phone and you start watching, for example, TikTok, you will lose focus. You will not put mind in what you are doing.
Experts also note that constantly switching between tasks and social media fragments attention and increases mental fatigue, ultimately affecting performance both at work and in school.
The media can give you the information, and the information that you are not even expect to hear through social media, you will get it.
Despite these concerns, social media is not without its advantages. Many businesses and professionals rely on these platforms for marketing, networking, news updates, and remote collaboration. When used strategically, social media can support productivity rather than hinder it.
For instance, now you have a boutique or you're a market distributor. When you make use of social media, it will not go viral. People will now know you to bring more customers to you. So you now make more sales. And social media is beneficial.
Students and remote workers also benefit from access to educational materials, online communities, and digital learning platforms. Advantages that become effective only when users maintain clear boundaries and manage their screen time. As social media continues to shape modern communication, experts say the key lies in balance, using these platforms as productive tools rather than everyday distractions. Sadatu Garba, Global TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle continues, after this weather forecast plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Temperatures are expected to climb into their lower 40s in some extreme northern areas, so it's going to be quite hot out there. Moving down into the north-central region, skies will be partly cloudy for much of the day. Now, if you're waking up in some parts of Bayelsa, Delta, Cross River, and River State, you may want to keep an umbrella close by, as morning thunderstorms are expected in these areas. Now, as we head into the evening hours, rain chances begin to increase as more moisture pushes into the country. This means isolated thunderstorms will develop over southern Adamawa, southern Kaduna, parts of Plateau State, Benue, the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, and Kogi State. Many cities across the southern half of the country could see some showers and thunderstorms later in the day. And with the high temperatures expected over the north, residents are advised to reduce prolonged outdoor activities, stay well hydrated, and wear light breathable clothing. And that's the weather forecast. Stay weather aware. I am Akami Samarda.
Welcome back. Now let's take you to the world of business, where rising fuel prices driven by global oil shocks and the ongoing conflict in Iran are tightening the grip on transportation across Nigeria. For many commuters, transport operators moving from one place to another has become a daily financial struggle. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, reports.
Global oil markets have been rattled by the war in Iran, sending fuel prices soaring around the world. Nigeria is feeling the impact as higher petrol costs are forcing transport operators to increase fares across the country. For millions of Nigerians, daily commuting is no longer a thing. It has become an increasingly heavy financial burden. Transport unions say they are caught between rising fuel costs and passengers already struggling to pay high fares.
We are just suffering ourselves because I didn't see a reason why other countries will be fighting here in Nigeria will be suffering. Because even the US that is very known with the fight, they are not suffering the kind of suffering we are heading to now. Our masses, they are not, in short, they are not helping matters because if they are helping matters, fuel price is supposed to rise.
The ripple effect of higher fuel prices is also hitting small businesses and workers who depend heavily on public transport. Traders, artisans, and office workers say a growing portion of their income is going towards daily travel, leaving less money for food, bills, and other essentials. As Nigerians continue to navigate the economic pressure, many commuters are cutting unnecessary trips and exploring alternative ways to get around. For now, the global oil crisis and rising fuel costs continue to shape how Nigerians move, work, and live. Sadia Yakubu for Global Television News.
The airline operators of Nigeria says domestic airline operating in the country are facing mounting financial pressures following a sharp increase in the price of Jet A1, also known as aviation fuel. The group disclosed that a price of aviation fuel, which sold for about 1,000 naira per litre 2 weeks ago, has surged to about 1,800 naira per litre in many parts of the country, representing roughly an 80% increase within a short period. Aviation fuel remains the largest cost component in airline operations, accounting for about 30 to 35% of total operating expenses. Industry stakeholders have linked the latest spike to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, which has pushed up global energy prices. The Federation Account Allocation Committee has shared a total of 1.895 trillion naira as revenue for February 2026 among the federal government, the 36 states, and the 774 local government councils. According to a communique issued after the FAC meeting in Abuja, distributable revenue comprises 1,274 trillion naira from statutory revenue and 619.119 billion naira from value-added tax. From the total allocation, the federal government received 675,088 billion naira, the states got 651,525 billion naira, while local government council shared 456.467 billion naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced a 20,000 naira transaction limit within the first 24 hours of activating a mobile banking application as part of new security measures for digital payments. The directive contained in a critical to banks and financial institutions is aimed at reducing fraud and strengthening the resilience of Nigeria's instant payment system. The rule, which take effect from July 1, 2026, with banks allowed to set even lower limits based on their internal risk management frameworks. Now to the foreign scene. Muslims and Jews in New York have come together for an interfaith iftar at a prominent synagogue. sharing a meal during the holy month of Ramadan as a symbol of unity and dialogue. Mukhtar Kasim reports.
The gathering brought together members of both communities to break the Ramadan fast and promote understanding at a time of rising global tensions. Participants say the event highlights the importance of dialogue, compassion, and peaceful coexistence among people of different faiths.
It's, I think, more important than ever that we come together. We've been having this dialogue for a significant period of time, but it's during these times of crisis that we turn to our neighbours in trying to assist them or to be assisted, trying to uplift them or to be uplifted. And by doing so,
and we can feel the peace that we can be together, we can share the same space and get along instead of fighting differences and fight. So it's pretty precious to me. I really believe in peace and humanity, and I really want to be part of that.
To see this happening, especially today in this world, that we can't sit down together and have a meal. You know, the things that bring people together in my mind are music, sports, and food. You know, and it's really great to do that, especially what's happening in the world today, here and abroad. So.
And I know that might sound a little bit naive given what's going on, but every day I see that that's possible in my work at Seeds of Peace, and I hope that more people can feel that the ability to talk to one another is always going to be more powerful.
Organizers say such interfaith gathering help build bridges between communities and encourage dialogue in difficult times. They hope the message of unity and mutual respect will inspire similar initiatives across other communities. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
A drone attack has struck the port of Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates, one of the Middle East's largest oil storage hubs, forcing the suspension of some operations. The incident comes under escalating conflict in the region, with U.S. President Donald Trump saying military targets on Iran's key oil island of Kag had been totally obliterated. Iran has warned that energy infrastructure linked to U.S. interests could be targeted, raising fears of further escalation across the Gulf. France has moved to restore retaliation with the Central African Republic following the first ministerial visit by a French foreign minister to the Bangui in 8 years. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot met with President Faustin Archange Touadéra and declared a full restoration of diplomatic ties after years of tension linked to Russia's growing influence in the country. The visit comes as CAR continues efforts to stabilize security and revive economic development while balancing relations with both Western partners and Moscow. And now to the world of sport, where Pep Guardiola has insisted his side will continue fighting on all fronts this season, despite a challenging run of fixtures and a heavy first leg deficit in Europe. Manchester City remain within reach of Premier League leaders. Arsenal have reached the Carabao Cup final, the FA Cup quarter-finals, and face a daunting task overturning a 0-3 first leg loss to Real Madrid in next week's return leg. Speaking ahead of Saturday's Premier League clash with West Ham United at the London Stadium, Guardiola said his focus remained on taking each game as it comes during what he described as a decisive stretch of the campaign. Former Super Eagles midfielder Henry Nwosu has died at the age of 62 after battling for his life in a hospital in Lagos. The death of the 1980 African Cup of Nations winner was announced by former teammate Segun Odegbami, who said Nwosu passed away at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Nwosu was widely celebrated for his role in Nigeria's first African Cup of Nations triumph and later contributed to Nigerian football as a coach and mentor to younger players. And that's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thanks for watching.